Hola mi gente, aquí con la Margarita, reminding you that on Tuesday on Facebook Live at 7 p.m., I welcome you to Moments con Margarita. Stay ridiculously curious about the you that you are. Cultivate that self-trust by feeding your spirit love, kindness, and gratitude, and nurture your ego so that anxiety and fear has no room in your life. Hola, mi gente. Good evening. Buenas noches. It's like the sun is still very bright out here, so it's kind of funny saying buenas noches. Well, welcome to Moments con Margarita. We have a special guest tonight, and I'll be introducing her soon. But I wanted to start off with tonight's little tidbit of sabiduría. And they're just little things you can write and follow or just listen. And it says, just show up every day for yourself. Create your sacred space somewhere when you come home for whatever it is you're doing, or you're home and you need to remove yourself from where you've been. Create a little sacred space for yourself, because that will help ground you. That would help center you, that in a sense that any aggravation, any mood that you might have had that it's not beneficial to you, it will dissipate. It doesn't have to be a big space. It could be a closet that you convert it into a writing room or a reading room. Remember to cultivate self-trust and know that abundance is not a moment in your life, but a movement for your life. When I say abundant, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about the abundance of peace, of calmness, of serenity, the abundance of family, friends, the abundance of being very comfortable with who you are at any hour of the day. And when the powerful basics of your you are in progress, not completed, I don't care if it's the first step you take towards that progress of yourself, then that's where the need comes to come together as a tribe and have candid conversations on how to collectively heal the humans of our community. We tend to work and focus so much on our healing that we get lost in it, and then we get sidetracked on our healing, and then we're on to something else. We need to focus on what it is that we need to do to discover who we truly are. And then while we're walking on that journey and we're feeling good because, pasito a pasito, we're discovering our true being, then that's when we give a hand up. That's when we mingle with others, because they might be where we once were. And sometimes just a soft word or a little, you got this, I'm rooting for you, just to diminish any hesitation someone might have, or just to fill someone with hope that they too can continue on a journey, that they too can embark, on a journey of their own. Candid conversations of truth, of our realities, need to be held in order for ourselves, the people we love around us, and the community where we live in, the community in which we have chosen to thrive in. And that's the importance that a lot of people tend to forget, because they're too busy being busy that they've sidetracked their own asses on the healing process. So when we begin to change our world, we help to change the world of others. So tonight, my guests will share community basics, community involvement, the whys, the what, the whys, the wheres, the how to be involved and when we should get involved. Because together, change begins with us. So we must want to change from wherever we're at, or whatever it is that we're doing, and raise the bar for ourselves in order to become either better than where we were, or remove ourselves from where we no longer want to be. When we do that, And then, it's the old cliche that I truly, truly believe in is it takes a village. So let's be a part of that village. Whether you're the leader or you're in the back, making sure nobody strays away in their focus on their journey. We might be all together in a pack, but each of us have a journey that we must embark on ourselves. And who should tell us that that's not how it should be? We need to believe that the legacies that we are going to leave behind, the purpose driven road that we must travel upon, that is for ourselves to do. No one's responsible for it but ourselves. And once you find that that is what you want to do, you become the love that you want. And when you become that love, then it is so simple to share it upon many and to share it with those that might have less than we do, might be at our same level, and even those that may we may believe they're above us. No one's above healing. No one's above having a support system. No one is above realizing and accepting the love that they are. So, with that being said, I want to say my guest, Chanel, real deal. Career has led her from teaching to television and winning an Emmy. How amazing. She's over there with Rita Moreno. To sales and now an author. Chanel continually gives back to her community by volunteering in different initiatives. Chanel loves to spend time with her family and friends. She resides in Bristol, Connecticut with her supportive husband, David, humble daughter, Juliana, and their loyal dog, Riley. Chanel loves to cook, dance, listen to music, and play softball. She is a Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, graduate of Goodwin University, class of 2019. She prides herself on respect for others and working together as a team. My career has led me from teaching to TV and now sales. Upon my journey, I have gained knowledge in many. And I'm sorry, but there was my printer or something, but that's where it cut off. But I'm going to say all of that is, yay, I will be your cheerleader because of amongst all of that I just read about Chanel Real Deal, I'm going to add that she is my beautiful prima, my beautiful cousin that I'm so proud of, and I'm proud to call her my cousin. I'm so happy that she's going to be on tonight. So have your questions ready and let's cha-cha-cha.
Hello, hello, wonderful world. On this wonderful Tuesday, sunny Connecticut, finally.
Oh,
Woo,
yes, I see that. It's also sunny.
beautiful. Oh, yeah, it's like 70 or something crazy. So happy. Yay.
Oh my goodness. Good. That's good. But yeah, it's really bright out here and it's beautiful because then, I speak about, I don't know why we allow winter, before we get started, we allow winter to put us in a depressive state because we're looking at it as it's gloomy, it gets dark early, it's cold, wherever it is that you live in the world. I look at winter as it freezes up. It fall starts coming in, the leaves start dying, everything starts getting nestled away in nature. And then the winter comes and it's frostbitten and it's cold and the trees are naked and the birds aren't chirping as much. But I look at it as it has taken all of that, the end of fall into it. It has taken all of that sorrow, all of that grief, all of that negative energy that we possess and it put it on ice. And our only job as the humans participating in this world is that when spring comes, as you're witnessing now, and the cold and the frost starts to thaw, our only mission in life is to not pick up what we dropped off at the end of
Mhm.
autumn. So it's like winter, like really like it's the bleach of the 4 seasons. Right? You start
Yeah.
off New Year's, January, it's still cold, but you're starting off, you got all the trumpets blaring, you got all this, I'm going to be better this year. Then towards the end of the year, it's like you're a fish out of water. You want to give up. You didn't accomplish everything you said. That winter gives you the solstice to just be.
Yeah.
That's how we need. I love the seasons,
I
but
love the seasons. I mean, I do want to move warmer as I get older, but the seasons, I definitely have to have a house up here just to
right,
sneak away in the snow. I do like snow, but I don't like shoveling. So,
it's I don't I don't like the cold anymore, but I love the beauty of seeing that the blessings and just what life is in 4 different seasons,
yeah.
right? Like the amazement, the flowers, everything. So anyway, yeah, I love it. I don't know if you know that I love it, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
tell me what it is that you do. The community uplifting. That's what I named
Yep.
this. Um, what do you do?
All right. So, let's see. I guess ever since I was young, my parents always had me involved in a lot of things, starting, youth group, dance, sports, everything. And with all that, you learn a lot about community, about what's needed, what makes you stronger, what makes the community stronger, the people you're with, the networking, and all that. So that just kind of always stayed in me. And I knew I needed to do that and continue to do that for the rest of my life, and to show my daughter and just people who you don't even know are looking up to you, the right path of kindness and to give back if you can. So I want to say now 6, 7, probably about 12 years ago, possibly. A guy named John Torres, who runs the Bridgeport Caribe Youth Leaders nonprofit in Bridgeport, that started out as just pretty much sports and mostly boy events, because a lot of people think sports, boys, basketball, blah, and he kind of started that as baseball. And there wasn't softball, there wasn't other things until later on as he continued to grow his program. Well, he knew my parents and knew that I was working at ESPN. I started at ESPN in 2004. So I had met him at an event, and he was like, what could you do, can we go to ESPN? Can we get, tours? Can we do something? We like to give things back to our youth who make honors for our program. So he does something all the time at the end of the semester, and kids that are part of the program who have honors, he rewards them. They either go to a game or a play or whatever it is. So I was like, And at that time, I was very involved. And ESPN has a lot of different initiatives as far as helping the community, because they are in Bristol, Connecticut. So they like to give back and things like that. So I was very involved in the Latin Club, which was called Goal, an employee resource group. And we did a lot of volunteering, reading to school, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month, reading to a lot of local schools for the kids, soup kitchens, a lot of volunteering. And tours always happened at ESPN before the pandemic. You could sign up, your family and friends, and they can get a tour, about an hour and a half, 2-hour tour on campus. That's what they call ESPN. It's by Lake Compound. So anybody ever goes by, you'll see it. It's huge. So they would do tours, and I'm like, that's free. And we can try to do that. So I told him, I'm like, well, I can try to hook you guys up with tours, and kids, sometimes you see the people on TV, you can see live things happening. Who doesn't want to see that? Even if you don't like sports, you're like, ooh, TV, especially young kids. It's like, ooh, in your own town of Connecticut, who even knew that was here? I did it. And I grew up and born and raised in Bridgeport. So he loved the idea. So we started to do that. So he took about 2 to 3 different groups throughout like 2 years or so. And we signed them up, and they did these tours at ESPN, and these kids, just their eyes were like, oh my God, this is amazing. So fast forward, I got laid off. My husband still works there, and it was getting harder to get tours for these initiatives, for these groups. So we were coming up with other things, and John's like, I really want to do something more for girls. We have so many boy groups, so many boy programs. Yes, we have softball now and cheerleading and whatever, but we need something else for the youth, for the girls in Bridgeport. So him and my cousin Veronica and I, and we're like, mentoring. There's no mentoring. I didn't have mentoring. If I wasn't for the church and like the strong women in my life, I mean, it wasn't like there was programs that I can go to at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we started, I think it was about 7 years ago now, 7 or 8 years ago. We got about 5 different mentors, myself included, all Bridgeport raised, successful ladies. We came up with an agenda. for, I believe it started as a 12-week program, either 10 or 12 weeks, every week touching a different topic, from body image to sex to pregnancy, STD, all the things that teenage girls want.
Important stuff.
The important stuff in life, and that sometimes you're scared to talk to your parents about, or counselors or whoever. And we wanted it to be like a homie crew, like a networking. Yeah, girls, it's okay. Be confident. We're from Bridgeport. We went through the same struggles, and we're here for you. And you can get out of it, and you can do things and inspire other people. So at first, we wanted it to be from like 13 to 18, and we are going to split it up: 13 to 15, one group; 15, 16 to 18, because 13 to 18 is a big range of different things that happen. So we were so enthusiastic, and we had, I want to say, close to 20 girls. And it just got it was a little too big and too wide of a range. So every year you learn, you grow, you make it better. So that first year we tried that. We took one of the trips we did to New York City on a train to bring them to an actual Broadway show and have a nice dinner, make them dress up, be successful, be businesslike. And half of the girls, it was incredible that they've never had even been on the Metro North, and it's right there in Bridgeport. So when we saw that, we're just like, this is such a necessity for so many of these people and these youth, these in our city. So we continued with it, and we did close it down a little, because now there's only 3 more mentors. We went through a few mentors. Now we have 10 girls. Pandemic screwed us up. We try to do it virtually, but you're in a house. Some people have an apartment. You don't want to talk in front of your family, and it's not the same bonding. So we're struggling with that right now. The program's we're going to relaunch again in the fall, because we just tried again, and it wasn't working too well, because it does take parents to also step up. And we try our best. We would pick up girls because it's important to us. We wanted to do this. The groups that we've had, they built such a network. They're still friends to this day. They still text us, they'll see us, and most of them went to college, a lot of them are working. And it's just great to see that we were in their lives since 14, 15, 16, and they're still connected. So yeah, I want to grow this. And because of this, and the book launch, which we'll talk about later, one of my other friends from Bristol, she actually wants to start a program and wants me to help her with it. And we want to do it in Dominican Republic. She's from Dominican Republic. She's part of a missionary, and they need it. And so we're working on that right now. So I just my hope and dreams, and as I grow and learn new things, is to help bring this to different places that don't have it and need it. Or even just like be that I don't need to be in every group, obviously, but train and teach and show other women or girls in the communities to be able to do this and let it and make it grow.
And make it grow. I think that Carmen's asking if this is in Bridgeport.
Yes, the one that we run on Saturdays is in Bridgeport. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And when I'm home, I would love to participate in that Saturday thing.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
With as much home as I am. I mean, people like,
lately you've been here a lot,
and they're like, where's home? But I think that you hit it on the nose. There's so many that what is she saying? Chanel MG mentoring Connecticut with Costa Rica. No, I think Dominican Republic, right?
Yeah, Dominican Republic.
Carmen must want to go to Costa Rica.
I'll go to Costa Rica too. Let's go.
I just want to acknowledge my beautiful ladies who are on that I didn't. Kathy Ruiz, I love that you sent the Reason Season Lifetime poem on the Viva page in Instagram. Milagros, buenas noches. Carmen Nieves. I don't know. Where are my sisters? But I don't know. They'll come on. So I think that was fantastic. I think all the dynamics of parents, of people wanting to volunteer. Again, from what I said earlier, we believe we're so busy. Like there's been like this paradigm shift in humans.
Yeah.
Since 2020. And it's like nobody feels like the grasp that there's not a grasp in something. And let me tell you something. I'm flaky. I'm a gypsy. I'm a freeze. I'm all over the dance. Sometimes I have to tell myself, Margie, sit the hell down. Just sit down. But even I've been feeling a little like, But I think consistency is the key, right? So those girls who started with you and are now in college, they haven't thought to come and volunteer like a weekend, a Saturday a month or something like that?
Well, yeah. So we had, was it well, right when we were going to launch before the next, right before the pandemic, our session that we were about to have, we had three of the girls who were going to come and teach a session,
Okay.
but then that got shut down. So, and now this session that we just started in the beginning of March, which we just had to cancel, unfortunately, because we were getting like one or two girls, and we can't do it with that. We used to have things set up to do in groups, and we teach. We want them to teach each other. They do group stuff. But yeah, so one of the girls got pregnant, and she was pregnant during our program, and we were real raw with everything. And she was real raw after she had the baby, and she was a young teen mom, and was like, and now she wants to come back and talk on one. So she was going to come back this year. So yeah, we have involved, and a lot of the girls also are still involved with Caribe, so they do different things with Caribe. Um, but yes, and and then one of them is my goddaughter, so she's always in touch with us and want to come back and
Yeah.
teach. So
See, and that's good when you have it like that. But Carmen said she has a spot for you guys to talk. And Carmen, I have
yes.
about 5 to 6 cups of coffee a day. I was, the night before last, I didn't get to sleep till 6 in the morning. Not because I was trying to stay up. It's because I wasn't tired. I wasn't tossing and turning. I was painting pocketbooks. I was creating flyers for redoing my webpage. And so Monday was okay. This last night, same thing. And coffee don't keep me up, but I need to have it before I know I'm going to sleep. So Carmen, call me anytime. Every time I'm flaky, you know that. I should have been like involved with Tarzan and swinging from tree to tree. That's how I feel all the time. But my question is, where do you go? Who like Carmen? Carmen is like, Carmen Nieves.
Mm-hmm.
She's like the best person to get involved with because she has so many connections, right? But where do you go to hold these things with parents? Is that how you do it? So you tell me what you do. Tell me after this question why you do it. But is there like a come together, a meeting of parents who want their kids to do something different, to get their mind going different, to be a part of this program? Or is it just kids calling or coming to sign up?
So it's usually recruiting in the schools and in the high schools. And then some parents, because their other children are involved in either the basketball, the cheerleading, or one of the other programs, because Caribe also does tutoring, they do SAT prep.
Wow.
They have a lot of different programs. So a lot of times the parents hear it by word of mouth, or they see it, okay, we just signed up my kid for this, and I saw there's a girls program. So, and then I found out this year a lot more of the recruiting for high school. And it was, I felt bad. Like we really felt bad having to cancel because the two girls that we had, like one of them she's a gem, and we talked to her personally and like, no, we're still doing it, and you're going to be with us next in the fall. But we had a counselor from Bassick High School who was like, she got three girls signed up, and she wanted two of them. We're like, it's week 3, we haven't even heard from them. So the counselor reached out, because we would send an email every, like, hey, this is free, we do it free, this is volunteer, it's all a volunteer, we don't get paid, I drive an hour every Saturday morning to be there, so it has to be worth it too. I'm not gonna, I have
Of
my own
course.
family, I'm not
Of
gonna
course.
sacrifice every Saturday, but I would if it was there, but we're not gonna go for two girls. So anyways, she reached out saying that two of the girls couldn't get a ride. And I go, well, why didn't they reach out or let us know the first week or when they signed up? Because we have free bus passes and we would pick them up if we could. And
Mhm.
so the poor counselor, she wanted to Uber them there. She's like, please, I really want them to go. And then that was the week that it would have just been them two. And then, yeah, I reached back out to her. I'm like, we need more counselors like you. The counselor lives in White Plains. And she's like, so I understand about driving, but I'm willing to sacrifice because I really want these girls in there. So that was eye-opening because I didn't realize that's how they were doing a lot of the high school things. But the first session, when we first launched every program, we do the first 15 to 20 minutes on the first week. We tell parents you have to be there, or a guardian, or whoever signing up this kid, because we want to make sure all the paperwork is correct and permission slips are signed, and show them the agenda and be like, hey, if there's anything on this agenda you don't feel comfortable us talking to your daughters about, because like I said, we're raw and we're just, it is what it is, and they need to hear it, and I'm sure they want to. Please let us know now. This is what it is. We're mandated reporters. So just letting you know this as well. So we do meet with the parents, and we had the parents show up. There was about, I want to say 5 parents, but
Okay.
then it just started falling. We would get one email back, and I'm like, come on, it's so sad. Like, and
Well,
if the parents don't push, then the kids, what do they see?
yeah, and that's where
So,
that's it takes a village. I asked
mhm.
that because a lot of people, a lot of parents, um, they don't know how to go about it either. So they're like, so their kids lead them. But I
Yeah.
think what you're doing is phenomenal. And you know what? 80% of somebody healing or learning or getting up to the next level is their participation in it.
Hmm.
The other 20 is when we're right there motivating them, inspiring them, saying, hey, come over here, I got this. Hold on one moment. Arlene, it's okay. Yes, when I get to Connecticut, I will visit you and thank you for being on tonight. Hello, Connie, my beautiful sister. And Carmen says, is this through Caribe or your own thing? I am lost. You gotta love it.
It's through Caribe. We started it though, so it was our own thing. And because John wanted something, and it's our baby. Basically, we did the curriculum, we've done everything, but it is supported by Caribe. Yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, Carmen, sorry for the confusion, because I want to take this stuff with my friend for Dominican and where I live in Bristol and the different other mentorship. Yes, that's me. But the girls group that we do on Saturdays, yearly, is through Caribe.
You see? And that is because, yeah, we need sometimes, and you don't have a space.
We use UB. We used to use Housatonic back in the days. We've been using UB for the last few years.
Oh, is
Yes.
it big? I
We have
love
a
it.
classroom. We have a
Oh,
classroom. Yep, we have a whole classroom, so it's perfect. I mean, we rearrange. We don't want them to sit and act like you're in school. It's Saturday. Who wants to do that? So as soon as we get in, we put the girls to work. We're like, move all everything away. We want to, it's open circle, and we're
yeah.
exercising and we're talking and we do our circles, and we let them set the ground rules. We're like, this is for you. Yes, we get therapy out of it from listening. It's great for us, but we
Mhm.
have them set their intentions, have them set the ground rules, and we have it on the board every week. Oh, you just disrespected someone, but that's on your rule. You're not supposed to. So, but we want them to feel like empowered by them creating stuff. But
And
obviously we
learn
guide and learn. Yeah.
yeah, because that's, the hardest thing I think to teach a youngster and some adults that I've come across is they don't take into account the consequences to their choices. And I
Mhm.
tell people when the word consequence might sound intimidating, but it's really a beautiful word because whatever choice you make, good or bad, it still has a consequence. You
Mhm.
get to celebrate and be abundant and move up and do whatever, or you get to lose everything because of choices and consequences. They're fraternal twins because whatever this one does, this one is going to have, it's going to have an effect. So I love to do that. So that's good that you do that. You hold them accountable by having them
Mhm.
write it on the. That's a beautiful thing. Hello, my sister Janet and Lindia Rivera. She says,
Hi,
"Mary."
Lindy.
So I think that is perfect. The round table. I am, if you must know, a King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table aficionado. So when you said that, I'm like, that's because there's no one above, there's no one below. We
That's right.
just simply are. So that's beautiful. That's so. Did you explain to me why you did it? You did, right?
I
You
think
just
I
said
did.
it was. What
Well,
did
yeah,
you?
I mean, I knew that I needed to, since I've been out of Bridgeport for so long, there was like a void in me of not volunteering and giving my time back to my city. That my city that did so much for me. I mean, I grew up in the hood, and the hood didn't hold me down because of things that I had. Of course, strong foundation for sure, and just my focus, and my Lindia, who's on, she also went to high school with me, and just having our faith. And yeah, I didn't want to go to Catholic high school, and because I was in public school my whole life, but it probably, my parents knew better than I did. It was the best choice. Even though I'd sneak off and walk to Central and say,
That's my
Well, I started at Central, and then yeah, my mother's like, "You don't give away free money." I had 4 year scholarship. She's like, "Nope, you don't give free money away. You're going to Kobe." So, but yeah, so I knew I needed to give back to a city that was very good to me. And since I was doing, like I had said previously, when I was started at ESPN and moved up this way to Naugatuck, Bristol area, I was doing so much for the schools and the things around here. And I'm like, I haven't really done anything for Bridgeport, and I can now. Like, and I have the knowledge base. I have my stuff together. Let me share it. So I had been looking. Well, it kind of found us, but it was definitely something that needed to be done,
And you took the reins
and
and
we
you did
did it.
it.
We
And you
took
know
it.
what I don't know who I was talking to yesterday, but people think that because they start something, it's now, ahora, and it's not. It's a process. With me launching my coffee company, I love it. It's my passion. Where else do I get to burn sage, play jazz, smoke a cigarette, and roast coffee? In my
Yes.
house, right? Um, and I think that, but in the launching of my business, I know that's I've already told myself everybody loves coffee, but I am giving myself the grace period that I will see the results that I know that I'm going to get, but I'm giving myself a year. And if anything good, big happens in between, then yay, I'm going to celebrate it. I'm going to pocket that money because I'm giving myself the first year in anything,
Hmm.
marriage, in a relationship, and moving, going to college, everything is dale tiempo el tiempo. And we
Yeah.
forget that, right? But then you stuck to it. And although people go and there's no involvement, you're still there.
Hmm.
And I think that is the consistency in community uplifting that we need. Because it's so easy to say, well, they don't want it. So why am I wasting my time in driving an hour from Bristol? Right?
Right. And that's what it is. And like I said, they built, now they built the last few classes have built their community and their network. And you just hope that we instilled enough that it'll continue and they continue to give back to the city as well.
Look. Milagros. I'm in the process,
You
Milagros.
know, like coffee.
I like coffee. Estoy en el proceso estoy cultivando mi propio té, la mezcla de té. So I'm taking a herbal class,
Oh yeah.
creating my own tea blends. Yeah, so I could visit with
Ooh.
that. I'm not gonna make promises, but I want to learn. So when I do that, Milagros, I will send you some tea. Lori, thank you for coming on. And Lindia says she's happy to see our gladiator. Yay. So I think anything that we begin, anything that we start with passion, if you're not steadfast in what you believe in, it'll fizzle, right? You start with all this passion. We know what passion is. I don't know, but we know how that passion can get you out. It goes like that, then it makes you all dizzy, right? But then if there's not enough of what's foreplay
Yeah.
of people coming, people calling, people returning emails, people being actively involved in wanting a better life for their children, because then it'll ricochet back and create a better life for them. Not that they don't want it, but maybe they just don't know how to go about it. And I say this only because I grew up with those type of parents,
Hmm.
So, and then it fizzles down, and then there's nobody coming, and then the pandemic came, and then it's hard to get back. You just say you had to cancel. But when you speak, your voice, your tone of voice is so vibrant that all it holds is promise that you're not going to give up on this.
Oh yeah. We said we will reset, we will regroup, and we learn, right?
And that's
And yeah, we did surveys. We have at least we got some of the girls' surveys for this round, so we can just gather the data and see what's going to work best moving forward for sure.
What do you find to be your biggest obstacle aside from what you said? Do you think what is it? Communication, transportation, an arousal of interest?
I think, I mean, a little bit of all of that. Yes, we transportation for some, but every year, like I said, we change and grow and learn new things. So now there's bus passes, even though I don't, maybe some parents feel some type of way about that. But some girls did take the bus passes. Um, Also, I think we need to advertise more for sure, and get a different gambit of people and not like the same school in the same area.
Yeah.
Um, what's another? And it's Saturday morning. Teenagers. Sometimes they, I mean, it takes a while. Like the first 2, 3 weeks of every program is you got the dreaded faces and like, "Ah, why am I here? My mother made me come. Somebody made me come." So making it sound more appealing in the beginning, not because once they're in, they don't want to leave. Once they realize like we're crazy. Like all three of us that are we're just crazy buddy class who are just like, come on, we play the games, we do everything. It's just we're just with them. So we always start the year off by asking, what do you who told you you had to come here? Did you want to come here on your own? What did you think this was going to be? And they are like, we thought it was going to be like school or like blah, 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 blah. We're like, do you want to leave? No, we love it. And we got people, the girls end up opening up fourth, fifth week, forget about it. You can't get them to shut up. We got to start timing stuff because they just feel safe and they
Yes.
feel our passion, like you said, and they know they can be themselves without being judged. So I think now that we already have the slew of girls, and we also, I think we're going to stop doing 13. I think we're going to just keep it to like 14,
Why?
later freshman year.
I think 13 is I could not. I mean, and I hope she's on. I could not stand my daughter at 13 years old.
My daughter's 13 now. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want her to do this.
It's like, they're still babies, but
Yeah.
my daughter is like me. You see those dancers, but they're blurred because they're spinning and doing all that kind of thing. Yeah, and so we were like, boom, and now we're close as ever. She's gonna be 36 now, but that age, I think it's very fragile.
Hmm.
They think they know what they want, but they don't. You see, you're living it now. I've lived
Yeah.
it. I've experienced with my daughter, and then I was forced to grow up. At 13, I was a full grown woman in thought and in strength.
Yeah.
But I thank you for that, because I think, yeah, plus what is that when they're like coming into their own, so they're leaving elementary, but they're not high schoolers, they're in middle school, and that's a very
Yep.
confusing um
Time.
yes, where everything is just crazy and you can't even pinpoint what they think this is. They're just like, yeah, they
They're
need
finding their way. They're finding their way.
and they
Yeah,
keep
and
going
the topics.
that roundabout, and they're not
Yeah,
like taking the street, they just keep going around the damn roundabout. Yeah.
yeah. And we saw it. I mean, they were just like the three girls that we got. There was one 13, two, a 16, and 17. And the 13 was just like all over the place, like you said, just spinning. And the other girls were sitting there and even the way they spoke, you can tell like they're mature or getting mature and have, not that 13-year-olds don't have real issues, they do for sure, but it's different. They've already overcome that, like you said. It is, yeah. So we definitely see that now. So when we launch again in fall, we're not going to do that, and yeah, and just do a little more advertising a little differently. Because I know, obviously, like Carmen Nieves knows that Caribe has been here for about 15, 17, I don't know, 15 to 20 years probably. So they're well known for sports already,
Hmm.
and some of the programs that have been there longer. Since we're kind of a newer program for them, and they don't really advertise with that program when they're out there recruiting for sports. So we just gotta, yeah. So we're all regrouping, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And we also, and now they're getting more funding as their nonprofit, so we're able to do. We were supposed to do a retreat with the girls this year, and actually take them somewhere for an overnight. So we hope to still be able to do that in February, because we always do some sort of different thing that a lot of them don't get to experience. Like I said, so many had never gone on a train before. I'm sure none of them ever had gone to a Broadway show. Now we keep it a little closer because it was hard with teenage girls in Manhattan trying to reel them all in. So we're like,
It
okay,
is.
We have shows in Connecticut. Let's stick here.
Yes, and Bridgeport is like with the comedy spot there where the
Mhm.
Kennedy Center. But I've met a lot of people who live in Orlando who were either raised from, little kids up who's never been to Disney because
Mm.
their parents' mentality was we don't got money for that. So, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. I come to Florida every year to take my kids to Disney. You know, how you live like 40 minutes away from it. And then you observe and you learn. And I want to say, Lydia, oh, hello, Charisse. She's on,
Hi.
she calls them pre-adolescents. Maron. That's
She's
like
a
her.
middle school teacher, so she
Yeah.
knows.
Oh,
She's a middle school teacher in
oh,
Bridgeport.
bless you. That's the age group I work with, are wonderful preteens. You gotta love them because we learn from them.
Mhm.
First of all, they wear their emotions on their sleeve, which some of us, which up until last year, I was too proud to share. So yeah, so it gets to be, and then Cherise said, "Love it." The age group needs support, love, and guidance. Yeah, that's it. They need to be nurtured, and I think to be around there, and they're easily influenced, no?
Oh yeah.
And then they want to be cool like the older girls and everything. So yeah, you know what? I think it's good because they need to be in a setting that's productive for them, that's
Right.
going to nurture them and keep them safe from themselves.
Mhm.
That's one of the prayers I say every night. I'm like, Father God, shield and protect my son and my daughter. I pray for them differently. I said, keep them away from harm and danger and their own stupid thoughts. That's my conversation with God because I know my kids. We
Yeah.
think we know and we don't. And then it's like, oh my God, what happened? So that age group, yeah. So, I mean, that was a wise choice to me, no? Because then you
Yeah.
can focus on the rawness of the other conversation. Although that group, hopefully they have a place to share. That's when they become in love with fangirling and all that kind of stuff. And it's hard to do what you do. It's hard to do, but Lindia does it. Easily influence their older friends. Can't lead them. They don't know better. Exactly. And that's what Shania was saying, Sharice, is about how she used to have them and now they're like, no. And it's beautiful. We trip, and instead of complaining of a scraped knee, we go, okay, why did I trip? What tripped me? And I think when you're there and you can sit and say, I want to be able to provide, but it's not the momentum with the other age groups. That's like brilliant.
Yeah. And if we continue and we're not, once I'm not working full time, slavery to the corporate world, we can build a different program just for the middle school or the different age group. Like we originally had planned a different, but we're all on a stage. The mentors that we have right now, we're pretty much all the same age. We're all dealing with our teenage kids and just banking what we can while we have the health. And then there's other things that are happening. So if we continue to stay strong and fight through this for the next 10 years, I'm sure we'll be able to do more for others. But we're in a weird transition of our own lives and family. So we do what we can right now. And that's how come we had to reevaluate things. And it's going to be fine. It's going to be perfect.
I think when the attitude of saying I'm pausing but I'm not quitting, I am shutting down early but I am not closing. And I think that for cleaning, deep cleaning, when they were closing down the establishments to clean during COVID, but they reopened. That's what it's all about, and Cherise says absolutely getting to the root of everything. And when you're dealing with little humans and their huge personalities and their huge whatever, I know, no, you don't know anything, I hate you. And to navigate through that, a lot of parents don't have the patience.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't be bothered because of what you said. They work, they gotta come home, the mom gotta cook. If they're what if they're a single parent? When I
Mm-hmm.
was offered to do a mentoring thing at Fairfield High and Fairfield U, they gave me all the students that were from single parents
Really? Huh.
to speak on. This was December 2006. They actually flew me from, because I had just moved to Florida in October, and they flew me back home.
Nice.
be a speaker there. And and I looked around, and there was, there was a little bit, there was everyone across the board, the majority being the people of color, right? And they were no different than any other kid. They might feel like there's a longing for something that they're not aware of if they're from a single parent, but they weren't the kids that I knew from growing up in Father Panic. They weren't desperately searching to be a part of something like a gang
Mhm.
or anything. They were in,
College
actually,
students.
the majority, no, these were the high school ones, but the
Oh, the high school.
majority of them had already filled out their college papers. So to label is one thing. And when I spoke, they understood. And I think that there was so much going on in that classroom that the time went in a blink of an eye, because the conversations being held were raw, and they were truth, and they were sincere. And I had them raise their hand. Anyone here um, ever hit their girlfriend? And you had, after the long conversation, some of them did raise their hand. And then I said, how many females here hit their boyfriend? It was more hands on that,
Mm.
more hands going up. So you would be amazed. And I just think it's the guidance. It's the letting them know that they are worthy. There was something that I heard not too long ago, and it says, what is it? It talks about, do not let your current situation determine your reality and your future goals, right? People stay in that mindset that you and I
Mhm.
both know of from where we grew up from. And I think that what you're doing right now, living where you're living, experiencing what you have lived through, and then raising a teenager on your own, the value of the quality of life that you can share with others is
Mhm.
immense. That's abundant, right? And I thank you
Yeah.
for that. How could we get involved?
So definitely, I want you to come and talk and speak. And Irixa was dying to come. She's like, I love talking to teenagers. Um, but yeah, once we start, I mean, like I said, we have pretty much our template, our structure on what we do. We bring a lot of people from Bridgeport to speak. Like when we have our session on education or just scholarship, we'll bring in like a lawyer who's from Bridgeport. Sex talk, we always have this lady who does a phenomenal job. Another one from Bridgeport, and she brings like everything. We even have the girls carry a bait. Like she has
Oh,
the fake belly
yes.
thing, and we're like,
Wow.
oh, who's gonna hold that today? Okay, you're gonna have that on for half of the class, and they're all by not even have. We're like, now pick up that pencil, and they're like, oh my god, miss. But so we do like
Thank
to
you.
have speakers. We do a financial session. So I'll regroup with our girls for sure when well, not our girls, but the other mentors, and see what else we're gonna bring to this, and then also talk. I know Lindia, I've been wanting you to come for a while as well. No pressure at all,
No
but
pressure. Just hurry
no,
up.
yeah. um but even if you just came and observe once and just see how it, how it is, because to get input, we don't get input because we don't want everybody else. Hi, look who's that. Hey, cuz.
Wow.
um we don't get we never got observed, right? So we don't get input from other adults. We It's kind of just what we do and what the girls like. But it'd be interesting to have like, even if you or anyone, Lindia, anybody just came and sat. Quite Carmen Nieves, totally open. Just one day in the back, sit there, take notes, see how it is. Of course, if you want to chime in, chime in. But from your perspective, what do you think we could do better, or not even better, but just to enhance things? And since you are all ladies of the community and just have a network, and Lori, of course, too, give us some advice, because a lot of you ladies have been doing this for years or dealing with children from years. We've taken a few courses, like trainings, but I mean, I did go to school to be a teacher, so I know a little bit of that. But the other two don't even have degrees. The other two mentors, they're just wonderful ladies with good jobs. And so we kind of all just learn as we go. So it'd be interesting if somebody would be willing to just sit in there and be like, hey, how about this? Try this way. That was okay, Lindia. I'll be calling you.
Yeah. Because I think that we need more of this. Our
Mhm.
future
Definitely. I mean, the things that you just hear once they start opening up, and we were all teenage girls, so we know, some of us had it worse, some had it better, some had support, some didn't. Some, I'm sure all of us had teenage friends who were pregnant, people, some having sex, some not.
I was
And
a teenage pregnant at
yeah,
17. I was married at 16
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and pregnant at 17 and a single mom at 18. Girl,
yeah.
I was on the road.
You want to roll?
You can tell me nothing.
Yeah. And I mean, you could tell them all day, right? Like the girl that we had that was pregnant. She wasn't pregnant the first year she came to our program, but then she was pregnant second year to our program, and now she wants to come back and talk about it. So, and she had really a
Awesome.
single mother raised as well and tough times. So we were on her, but like the first few sessions, she would come and she had what's that book that was real popular? The site that had three, the trilogy of the sex book that was a hot thing. What the hell?
Oh,
Gray's
50 Shades of
50
Grey.
Shades. She
I
brought
never
that
read
in. Oh yeah, yeah. I read it when it was hot. Who
that.
cares? But she was like 16, came in with the book, and we're all just like, "What you doing with that book?" And she's like, "Oh, I was gonna." We're like, "You're not reading that in our classroom." Like, no. We're like, "Okay, we already know where this one's gonna go." I mean, love her to death. And then yeah, so she was pregnant the year after, but
Well,
no,
that book I
she's
read
a
was
wonderful right. She's a wonderful mother now. Her son's amazing, so it's great. Okay, yes, I know you are, girl. I know it. But I think
beautiful.
even forums like this, and just like what we're going to be doing with our book tour,
We can go
I
into
think
that.
that helps. Look, it brings people out. It gives you different perspectives, different advice. Network. I mean, networking is big, so we need to network this a little bit differently, bigger, and grow it in your own communities. It doesn't just have to be Bridgeport. I don't know where people are from who are on this chat right now or who will listen. Start something up in your own community, because girls need it. Look what boys need it too. The funny thing is, so we did our girls group, and about 4 to 5 years later, it was going so well that they're like, let's try boys. One of the guys wanted to do boys to men, so they started a boys to men's group as well in Caribe, and they were right next door, classroom next to us, and we'd walk by or have a break, and they look so bored. Those boys are all slouching or all like this because he had them sitting like school, and we're just like, what are they doing in there? Those boys look miserable because it was just the two mentor guys just talking, 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 talking. And boys are different, obviously, right? Girls would sit there and talk more. Again, we still did the circle, made it open, made everyone involved. They're just sitting there looking every time we walk by. And it wasn't the best. I mean, they're changing it and they're trying. They're still going to try again. But those first 2 years were rough. So then they asked us, well, what do you do? How's your program so successful? So we had to give them pointers. I'm like, look, and you have boys, you got to be active, do something, make them move,
Yeah.
go outside. Like, you can't just sit there and talk to boys on a Saturday morning. They don't want to listen to that.
You gotta keep them let me tell you who's the best person to do that. Carmen Nieves. You can be at a gala all dressed up in heels. She's gonna make you get up and dance and wiggle it just to get off anything that you had when
Yes.
you walk through those doors and just be totally yourself. So, and yeah, that's what you have to do. Um, yeah, if anybody on here who knows somebody, reach out to Chanel, because this is our girls need guidance. Our
Mhm.
girls need to be girls who then become teenagers who are popular in high school or in the plays or who are not, and then go on to college. We need girls to be girls who will then develop into beautiful women without any extra baggage. Nobody needs extra baggage. Would I do anything different if I can go back in time? Hell no. I love being my age and having a 36-year-old and a 32-year-old. I'm like, we got this. But
Yeah.
would my life have been different, and if I had different things? Absolutely. But you know what? I love my life. It is the life that I
Mhm.
have. It is the journey that I have been on, and it's great. We're gonna keep doing what we do. Some
And that's
magic.
what we have to tell them too. Like, just live in, like you always say, live in the moment, be happy for what's going on. And even though these teenage girls' brains are all over the place, if we continue to enforce, like, it's okay, that's going to happen right now, but tomorrow you got a new day to make it different. You got a new day to make it right, make it wrong, make mistakes. We all do, right? But every day is a gift. So take it and live with it.
Yeah, that's it. Open that present. Open it up and ooh and ah like it was Christmas morning. And Lori says you
Amen.
both need you guys both need guidance, but still boys tend to be favored and assumptions are made with their successes. Girls need to be empowered to understand their personal power. Love what you do, Chanel. Real deal. Absolutely. You know what? And it is. It's an assumption that boys and girls need to be raised differently. No, they need to be raised the same so that when they grow up and become and they meet somebody and they're dating and then they get married, the boys will learn what it is about a woman and then be intrigued to know this particular woman and vice versa. They're not taught that. They're not taught that unity interaction. Boys growing up in a Latino family, my brothers, they were laughed at. Oh yeah, look, he got 3 girls, but yet the girl's 18 still cleaning up after everybody. So I mean that mentality really did do a bummer. But if you want to get involved, if you want to learn more, Charisse, I know you're involved in a lot of this in your neck of the woods. Let's do a Zoom or something and get together and help each other out and share some tidbits back and forth. So that would be good. Now I want you, before we close out in 5 minutes, to talk to us about her badass story book tour that you have coming in.
So who hasn't seen or have seen the little advertisements that Miss Gladiator Guru, myself, and Margarita have been posting on Instagram and Facebook. I know we were supposed to do it a few weeks ago and had to cancel. Just mentally, I wasn't there in my head to do it. So, but I'm so glad Margie's able to come back for April 24th. It will be in Bristol. And this is part 2 because Lori and Margie did one in Bridgeport already. And we're hoping our Noel can come again and meet us. So there'll be hopefully 4 authors there. And we're all going to read a little bit of our book. I'm sure a lot of you on here probably already read the book, or have it. And if you don't have a copy, then wait to buy it April 24th when you come to Bristol and have fun, mingle, talk, have some little appetizers and water and fun and music and share stories and network.
Yes, and grow. And let me tell you, even if you purchased a book from anybody, I know Chanel was like on a roll with that. Just bring it so that the rest of the authors can sign it. And I think that would be extraordinary because we here are all the authors. I can never get this right, so I'm gonna stay right here. And so if Noel can come, that would be phenomenal. We got Charisse is one of the authors, and I think that when you do a collaborative like this, I think the unity should be it should be there. So let's try and see. Let me tell you, I'll travel anywhere. Charisse does a book signing with enough notice. I'll be wherever she's at. I'm gonna show up, pop up like slut magic. Hello with my pen, because that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do to support one another, and that's what it is when you don't live your life in moments, but you live it in movements. You are the movement of your life, and when you do that, and you're open, and you want because you give because you want it. It's not the same thing. You don't give to people from your heart because you want the same thing back, but it's a swinging door. That's how life is. You cannot not have anything to offer and then expect gimme. Yeah. So let's get together. Let's help these young women, these young girls, and let's empower them. Let's empower them so that they want to grow up and be that mentor, that social worker, that teacher, that Emmy winner, that's going to say, okay, what's going on? Let me tell you how it's done. And then that's how the storytelling continues. I am a storyteller. I love reading, but I love talking. So I'm going to share and I'm going to share. So let's just keep moving forward. But anyway, I'm happy you took the time out to be here with me tonight.
I'm happy I had it.
Wonderful ladies. What is Lori saying? But Lindia says, oh, that's awesome idea. I love to get everyone else to sign it. I bought red and loved it. There you go. See? Girl after my own heart. Lori says, you are the movement of your life. That is absolutely it. And that's written in this book in my chapter. What I read earlier at the beginning of the show is from my chapter here. And that's what we have to understand, that we everything we want in life, we already possess.
Mhm.
Either if your gate is locked, unlock that bitch. If the door is open, what the hell are you doing not walking through it?
Yep. Amen, sister.
Amen. So, and that's it. So, any last words before we leave?
Keep doing what you do. Don't let nobody tell you can't do anything, no matter if you got the it's not about money. I wasn't gonna say that, but no matter what it is, do it. Who gives a crap? We build our own stories, we build our own lives. I don't give a shit what nobody thinks about me.
Let me
And
tell you
that's where I
something.
would be.
And that's
Not
why
the,
we're cousins.
that's why we
I'm gonna go drinking when I get back. Let me tell you something. People are like, how you got money? You know, everybody knows my car was totaled in a very horrible car accident, and I got to walk out of it. And so it was quite the blessing. And everybody knows I'm leaving for Portugal May 3rd, and I'm walking the Camino de Santiago. I'll be back at the end of May. And my son's like, you just need to cancel that trip. You know, you need the money to do this. I said, I got money. I got money. I'm never without money. I got a penny in each pocket. Bitch, you can't tell me shit. I got money. You know, and
your penny, pick it up.
that's it. And the thing is that's why people think you need to have this much money. You know what? I have this much money and this much excitement about my life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do it. So yeah.
Yeah.
How you gonna say good night? Mi gente, I am so happy. Lori Monaco has not gotten back to me, or was it in the email I sent her? But she'll be on the show shortly, in the next couple weeks. So let me tell you, may your soul sing and your spirit dance. And remember, you are everything you need. Buenas noches. Namaste, mi gente.
Namaste. Good night.
Good night.